Gentleman Fitness Club. You're probably wondering who they are. I actually got the privilege of meeting the team at Home Gym Con. They're a Japanese-based home gym equipment company and are looking to move into the American market. In a world where everything in the home gym industry seems to be getting larger and larger, especially machines, Gentleman Fitness Club caters more towards people with smaller home gyms like me, who only has a 100 square foot home gym. Because most people in Japan live in small apartments. That's something that I will gladly welcome into the US market and something we need more of. So let's check out some of their stuff. So we're at the Gentleman Fitness Club website. So let me kind of explain to you how their system works. So all you really need to do is buy this attachment base. And after you have the base, you can buy a bunch of attachments and they all work with the base. And that in turn just saves you a lot of space. So you don't need to buy like one individual machine for each exercise you want. You can just buy one base, different attachments, and they all just work together seamlessly. Like you can see here, look how compact that is. All of these attachments work with this same base, and you can have one to a few bases, or you can just get one base and then maybe like hang these attachments on the wall. And it's just so smart. You can see that this is just so Japanese because it's just so space efficient. So let's kind of go to their inventory and see what attachments they have. So of course you have the arm curl attachment, and then I think they also have like a smaller attachment here that kind of holds the easy curl bar as you do it. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, so something like this, you could use this for holding the easy curl bar. But you also have a leg extension attachment. You have a belt squat, and then here's the belt. Here's another leg extension attachment. Okay, this is just a leg extension attachment, and then this is with the base. So you can buy it separately if you want. That's pretty cool. I really like this, a seal row pad. So you can move this base kind of right in front of your cable machine and use the seal row pad for any kind of rowing exercises or pulling exercises. Here's a dip attachment. It's just so cool how many different attachments you can use with the base. There should be a few more. Okay, this one's actually really cool. Pec fly and lateral raise attachment. I'll show you guys this one later. Here's just a leg holding attachment. But it's just so cool how kind of the system they've created using this base and how much space it can effectively save you. One of the main other machines that Gentleman Fitness Club has to offer is this cable machine. And you might be thinking it looks very similar to something else. And yes, you're right. It looks very similar to the cable machine I have, which is the GMWD swivel arm cable machine. And then this also looks similar to the EonFit Omni cable machine. But the one from Gentleman Fitness Club I think is a lot more refined. So if you go through to the product list, you can see here's the cable machine, but the cool thing about it is you can upgrade it to a weight stack, which is not something you see in the US market cable machines like the GMWD and the EonFit Omni. And then they also have other attachments that you can add. So it just seems like their cable machine is a lot more refined. The other cool thing is I found that it kind of synergizes really well with the attachment base and a lot of the attachments that work with the base. I have the GMWD cable machine, so I'll kind of show you some ways that I integrate both the machines together to work seamlessly. So let's get into that. So here's the base for all of the attachments. It has wheels, so it makes it easy to move around. And then you attach all of the attachments right here. And back here, there's a knob that you can tighten so it doesn't really shake around as much. And then over here, it's kind of a platform to kind of usually put your bench on top of it so it kind of holds it down when you're doing the leg extension or any other exercises where you're having the bench here. So this is going to be the lat raise chest fly attachment. And of course, it stands out from a lot of other ones. Normally, you'll attach something like this to your rack, but because it's on this mount, you can move it anywhere you want. Since the mount has wheels, it makes it pretty easy. The other main difference is I really like that it has adjustable arm lengths. I find that some other lat raise attachments, my arms aren't the longest, so some are too long, and then for other people it might be too short. So you're able to adjust it any length that you need it to be depending on how long your arms are.
The other cool thing is you can adjust the angle of the handles, and then you can also, if you turn this clip, it can just be free flowing, and it can just dangle and kind of move as you're doing the movement. And then you just twist it and it locks into the position it's in. Also back here it has 13 adjustment points. It doesn't have like the 360-degree adjustment a lot of other lat raise attachments have, but I find that this is enough to do the lateral raise and the chest fly movement. You need to keep in mind back here there's a stopper for this weight horn, so it'll stop right here. But I find that that doesn't affect any exercises, because normally other machines like this, you'll do the chest fly standing up, going down, but this one, it works a lot better if you're lying on a bench and doing the chest fly like that. So those are what I really like about this machine. I think the downsides are, I find it's really hard to adjust the height of this. So say it's super heavy. So if you're not the strongest, it can be hard to adjust this going up and then kind of holding the weight so it slowly comes down without it just dropping straight to the floor. The other downside is going to be the height of it. So I'm only 5'7", and I find that with this at the max height, I can comfortably do standing lat raises. But if you're taller, I think you're going to have a lot of trouble doing any kind of standing lat raise exercise. I'd say if you're close to 6 feet or above, you're definitely going to have to sit down if you want to do a lat raise exercise. And then the last small nitpick is just the handles are really nice and knurled, but this one I have on the right, it doesn't freely spin. Sometimes it gets stuck, and then I kind of got to wiggle it around to kind of get it free for it to spin again. So that's the small downsides of it, but overall I think it's a very versatile machine, and I like how it works in their ecosystem of using this mount to just put different attachments on it. Okay, so here is my setup for a chest fly. This attachment, you can actually have it anywhere on the base. So I have it over here, and then I have this bench kind of sitting on the base. That's kind of just how I like it. You can also turn this attachment 180 degrees so the bench isn't on the base, but that's just personal preference. I kind of like the incline that it gives me. But the cool thing about this is you can adjust the arms. So before, the length I had the arms to do the lat raise, it's just way too long if I'm trying to do chest flies. So I was able to shorten it all the way, and now I can comfortably do chest flies. So let's do that. I really like the stretch that this machine gives me for chest flies. And I get that pushback the whole range of motion. Very good stretch. Oh yeah. Okay, here's a super cool hack that I found. So I have the GMWD swivel arm cable machine, which is just like the swivel arm cable machine that Gentleman Fitness Club has. And what I did was I put a U-clips on both of the weight horns and attached my cable machine to the U-clips, and then just put a clip on the end to hold it in place. You can also use a leg strap instead of this U-clips if you don't have it. That's what I was doing before I thought of using this U-clips. And then now, instead of putting weight on the weight horn, you can just put weight on your cable machine, and now you just get a way smoother movement throughout the whole chest press. Just like that. Oh yeah. It's way smoother with the cable machine. This feels straight up like a commercial machine, pretty much. It's crazy that I'm able to just rig up this with the Gentleman Fitness Club attachments and then some U-clips. All right, so here we have the leg extension attachment. Look how compact this thing is. The cool thing about this is all you need is this piece, and then you can use it with pretty much your bench. So everyone already has a weight bench in their gym, so you just need to attach this to your bench, and then you have a full-on leg extension or leg curl machine. So this is the weight horn. Man, they even engraved a G into it. It looks super good. This thing is super sturdy and very high quality. This is for the leg curl, and you're able to adjust the position of it. This is for kind of like the freak athlete, where you can attach cable attachments to it and kind of do arm exercises like rows and stuff like that. Down here, you can adjust this leg pad for leg extensions also, going up or down, and then it has this stopper right here to stop it. But yeah, you would put your bench right here, and you can put the bench on top of this platform to kind of hold it down to do the leg extension. So this is kind of the setup I would have to do a leg extension. I have my bench right next to the leg extension. And there we go. It has a pretty good strength curve to it, and it works normally like any other leg extension. It's very solid too. It's not, I mean, these pads are shaky, but the machine itself doesn't really move around, so pretty solid. So check out this setup. This is the other great way I found to integrate the swivel arm cable machine with the leg extension attachment. So I think this is meant for like arm exercises, but if you attach your cable machine to it like this, I think this would also work with like Bells of Steel or Titan cable machines, the dual one without the swivel arm. I think this could also work, but attach it here to this hook, and then I'll add weight onto it, and when I'm doing leg extensions, it is super smooth, and the strength curve is almost like constant. So let me put that together and show you guys. This is definitely my favorite way to use this leg extension machine. With the cables, the weight ratio is really good. It's like over 1-to-1 ratio. So I have 50 pounds on it, and it feels definitely more than 50 pounds. And then with this cable machine, I get pretty much a constant strength curve throughout the whole exercise. Whereas when I put weight on it, I feel a bit of a decline in the strength at the very top of the movement. So this definitely, the cable machine definitely fixes that. So this is an awesome hack. Okay, I want to test the strength curve with the leg extension attached to the cable machine because it feels really constant and very smooth, but I want to see the actual numbers. So I have the fish scale attached. It's currently zeroed out. That is crazy. At the very bottom of the movement, it is 110 pounds. With 50 pounds on the cable machine. Let's see, about halfway. $110. At the very top, it's 80. So it stayed pretty constant at 110 throughout the whole movement, and then at the very top, it dropped off to 80. So not a huge drop off, but it works really well. So you get a constant force curves throughout most of the movement. I'm very impressed with this attached to the cable machine. This is an awesome hack. You know me, I always have to try to use leg machines for upper body somehow. So I found that when I attach the leg extension machine to the cable machine, and then it's attached to this bolt, and then I attach any kind of pulling attachment to it. Ooh, it makes for a very good row machine because it's on a movement arm. So it feels almost exactly like a machine. This feels great. I highly recommend trying this. I really like it. I'm definitely gonna do this a lot because it feels like such a smooth movement. Oh yeah, that's great. And I get a huge stretch. And then you get the same like very good constant strength curve because of the cable machine. So definitely try this out. So this leg extension machine is pretty great, especially if you have a small home gym. Because of the small footprint, you can use it with any weight bench that you already have. The leg extension works great. The leg curl, the strength curve kind of falls off at the very top, so that could be better and that happens when you're using weight on the weight horn. But if you attach it to a cable machine like me, that kind of fixes the strength curve problem. It's just a pretty constant strength curve throughout the whole movement for leg extensions or leg curls. And then I also really like attaching cable attachments to it and doing upper body. I was a really big fan of that. It feels almost just like an actual machine at a commercial gym. So I recommend trying that. So especially if you have a cable machine like this, this would be a great addition to any home gym if you're trying to add some kind of leg machine and you don't have too much space like me. And then we have the belt squat. It works, it's a belt squat, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it. The main thing for me is the starting position is just way too low for me. So you do your belt squat, and then you have this kickstand, which is actually nice, but the kickstand is just way too low. I wish that the starting position was higher, and that's the main problem that I have with this belt squat. But it is cool that it attaches to the base, and you don't need a rack. If you don't have a rack, you can just use this base to attach this to. The other cool thing is to store it. You can just store it vertically like this. You can store it vertically like this, so it's super compact and you can just tuck it away in the corner of your small home gym. That's my opinion on Gentleman Fitness Club, their base and their attachments. I think it's a super cool ecosystem that they're trying to build with the base attachments and ways that you can use their cable machine with swivel arms with the base and attachment. So I think that's super cool. And then just overall, it's great that they're trying to enter the US market because we need more brands like Gentleman Fitness Club who cater more towards people like me who have small home gyms. Nowadays, home gym equipment's just getting bigger and bigger. They're trying to pack more features into machines, but Gentleman Fitness Club is trying to keep it simple. It's for people who have apartments or small home gyms, and that's what we need more of in the US market. So I wish them the best of luck at finding a distributor, and I hope to see them soon in the USA.